Okay, so back to our what if investigation question. So hopefully you've had some time to complete that and you haven't skipped it out. So that wouldn't be good, would it? Okay, because every little mark we can get, every extra mark is going towards our goals of getting the best grade we can possibly get. Okay, so we are looking for a what and we are looking for the result. So we're going to have a little think about what we could test and what would be the impact on the spreadsheet. So let's just have a little look. You could come up with anything. You probably come up with something different to me. We could play around with the VAT rate. So we could say if the VAT rate reduced, then that would have an effect on the overall profit. Okay, that's a possibility. So if the VAT rate was to reduce, I'm going to be specific from 20%. Now you're probably thinking that's not going to happen. Actually, it did. It always used to be 17.5. It's only in the last few years that it's gone up to 20. So who knows what could happen? So if the VAT rate was to reduce from 20%, that's the amount of money that goes to the government, then let me be specific now. The overall total would go down. Okay, you'd get 2 marks for that. Next up, number 7. ICT is used in many schools for administrative and teaching and learning. Tick the correct boxes below to show whether the following tasks are uses of a virtual learning environment. So Teams, Hub, all the tools that we get from that are VLE, or a management information system. That's our SIMS we use as a management information to mark the register. So pause and have a little go with that, please. Okay, so tracking attendance is used in our SIMS. If you look, I've only just realised this. SIM is MIS backwards. Okay, genius. So, good way to remember. Tracking attendance is MIS. Okay. Submitting homework is our VLE. Taking a register is our MIS. Using an online tutorial to learn French is a VLE. This is simple. Quizzes, teacher uploads quizzes, VLE, and allocating teaching staff to classrooms is MIS. Okay, so if we get a cover lesson, the register changes from one teacher to the other. Now, even though those are simple, have a think. Imagine now you were in the exam. They could ask you for different uses of a VLE, and you will now know lots of different things that they could say. So, spend some time now, think about this, because this could come up in an exam. They basically ask the same thing every year, but in different ways. Also, they could ask you for some uses of an MIS. All right, and now you're going to think, oh, do you know what? I know this. Track attendance. I'm not just going to say make something simple. I'm going to say tracking attendance or tracking behaviour. Allocating teaching staff to classrooms. Okay, you can do this, guys. State one specific advantage of a biometric registration. So you lot pay for your dinner and down the canteen using this. So you should be really, really good. I've never done this. Down the canteen. I had to get Mrs. Davis to take her finger down if I ever want anything. She's very kind. She always does that. I give her the money, So I'm going to pause. I want you to pause and try that. Okay. So you could have something like cannot forget or look out. Because you've always got your finger, obviously. Cannot forget your card. So that's a very specific advantage. So you can always, I was going to say always pay for your dinner, but then I was thinking, are they actually talking about that? Okay, next up, Other than cost, state two specific disadvantages of biometric registration. So if you pause and try that, please. Okay, you will know that they don't always work. So dirty or scratched scanners can cause problems. Okay, another disadvantage is privacy issues. Some people don't want their data, albeit a simple fingerprint. Some people feel that that's infringement of their privacy. So privacy issues, some people may not want to be on a database, on a computerized database. Okay. Other things you could talk about are people with disabilities may not be able to access these things. Okay. Okay, number 8, fly in. Fly in, guys. Retro fly in. A family renew their annual household insurance online. Okay. Fab, so with the email address, we can see what's coming up here, can we? All right. For each label box, state whether it uses validation or verification. Okay, so we do sometimes get a little bit confused between these. We do not do validation on someone else's database. They do it. Okay, so when they're setting up their database, they put things like drop-down menus, range checks, data types, to stop people making mistakes. However, when we're entering our data, we may do some verification. Okay, so pause, have a little go. All right, so for each label box, state whether it's validation or verification and which technique is used. Okay, so we've got 4 marks going for this. So the method for A, let's have a look, confirming the email address. They want you to write it twice. So that's verification, as we know. And it's double key in. The technique is called double key in. And B is the postcode. Okay, so for this one, it's validation. So they have put a rule on that before they actually set up the database, so while they were setting up the database, and a format check. It would only allow letters and numbers, letter, letter, number, 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 letter, letter. A good way to remember this, because validation is first and verification is after. If you put these into alphabetical order, which one would come first? Validation, not verification. That's the way I remember it. So if they were put in order, if we sorted them into ascending order, validation would become before verification. So then that might help us remember that validation comes while they're setting the database up. It comes first, and then verification is after. So that's just a little tip. Might confuse you. If it's confusing, ignore I ever said it. But it might help some people. Okay, the home insurance quotes arrive by email. Give 2 benefits and 1 drawback of receiving quotes by email. Okay, so pause, have a little go with that. Okay, so quicker to receive quotes compared to posting them. That is absolutely true. If you receive a quote quickly, almost instantaneously by an email, you will have to wait 24, 48 hours for it to come through the post. Be careful. If you just say quicker, that's no, absolutely not. Okay. Another benefit could be it's environmentally friendly. Environmentally friendly. I'm going to explain less carbon emissions to produced by email compared to Posting. Okay, very, very specific. I'm going to the next video.